and welcome to another video. Today is Wednesday the 17th of August 2016, and in tonight's video I'm going to look ahead and preview the fourth test match between the West Indies and India, which is going to take place in the Queen's Park Oval, Port of Spain, starting on Thursday the 18th of August. It's got a 5-day test match, and India lead the 4-match series by 2 matches to 0, so that's a dead rubber. West Indies crumbled twice in the last test match, meaning they lost the test match. In the first innings they were 200 for 3, then they crumbled to 225 all out, and in the second innings they were 108 all out. Now that's not good enough for a test team. India have been in top on this series, and as well winning that test match. They drew the second test, and in the first test they won massively by an innings and 92 runs. So this is the fourth test match, as I said before, and it's a dead rubber. So we're going to go through the batting of the West Indies and the bowling of the West Indies, and then we're going to talk about the Indians batting and bowling, and a little bit about this pitch, and then we're going to conclude what I think is going to happen in this test match at the end. So we'll start with the West Indies batsmen. Now, Craig Brathwaite made 64 and 4 in the last test match. He averages 33 in test cricket. Now, he really needs to step up and have more consistency. It's so well enough getting one test match 100 every now and then, but he has to be a more consistent performer for this West Indies. And as well as the opening partnership, they really need to build a partnership to build on. And he'll open the batting with Leon Johnson. Now, Leon Johnson's only played 5 test matches, and he has a 33 average in test matches. He made 26 in the first innings before being run out, and he made 0 in the second innings. He was looking decent in that first innings when he made 26, when he was unfortunately run out, but he has to learn these things and communicate well with his partner Craig Brathwaite if they're really to bond a good partnership up at the top of the innings. So he scored a test match 100 in this series. He'll have to show that form again in this match. At number 3, you've got the star batsman for the West Indies. Darren Bravo is the star batsman, in my opinion. He averages 46 in test match cricket. He'll be disappointed, however, in the last test match he got 2 starts and didn't kick on. He made 29 and 59. He made a 50, but he didn't kick on. Generally, he'll want to kick on and make hundreds. He's the star batsman in this team, and he'll be the lunge point of this innings. If he bats well, the West Indies generally bat well. At number 4, you've got Marlon Samuels, and again, he never levels up to test match potential. He only averages 33 in test match cricket. In the last test match, he made 48 and 12. He was disappointed with those scores. He got 2 starts and never kicked on, the same as Darren Bravo. We'll move on to the next batsman is Jermaine Blackwood. Now, he batted very, very poorly in the last test match. He made 20 and 1, but in the previous match he made back-to-back 50s, so he'll be hoping to show the form that he showed in the second test match in this fourth test match, and the third test match was only a blip. The last couple of bats we're going to talk about, Royston Chase. Now, he failed twice in the last test match with the bat, but he was very, very good in the second test match when he had 137 not out in that test match. He's only played 3 test matches, so it's not a big pull to the side of his form as in the test match arena. And now we're going to talk about the wicketkeeper, who is Shane Dorick. Now, he's played 5 test matches and he averages 30 in test match cricket. Now, he'll have to improve his glove work and his batting, in my opinion, to stay in this team. Now, we're going to talk about the bowling of the West Indies. Now, they've got the Sharon Gabriel, who's a very, very tall, fast bowler. He's a back of the length bowler who want to try and put the fear into the Indian batsman. He has to stop falling over at the offside. He's got a tendency to fall over at the crease. He has to remain strong at the crease, and he'll bowl even faster. The next bowler we're going to talk about is Alziri Joseph. Now, he's a young, talented bowler. He's 19 years of age, and he picked up 3 wickets in the first innings. He's a bowler who's got raw talent, and he'll have to show that raw talent in this match. The next bowler we're going to talk about is Miguel Cummins. Now, he's a young bowler as well who's played 2 test matches. He was very, very impressive in the last test match. He picked up 9 wickets in the match, including 6 wickets in the second innings. So that showed that he learned something from the first innings and took it into the second innings, and really showed his character in the second innings, picking up 6 wickets. The next batsman we're going to talk about is Jason Holder. Now, Jason Holder is a tall bowler, 6'7", and he's improving with bat and ball, but he's really learning his trade in Test match arena. He's a one-day specialist who's now converted to playing Test matches. I'd be interested to see how he does as the third seamer in this team. The next bowler we're going to talk about is Royston Chase. Now he bowls some off spin, and he's decent off spin. He keeps it very, very tight. He's very controlling bowler, and he's a great bowler to have for a captain. He can control one end and let this quick bowlers rotate at the other end. They've also got Jermaine Blackwood. Again, he's an off spin bowler. He's not quite as controlling as Royston, but again, he can pick a couple of wickets now and again. He picked up 3 wickets in the last Test match. And the only other bowler we to talk about is Craig Brathwaite. Again, he can bowl some controlling off spin as well. Now we're going to move on and talk about India's batting lineup. Now, India's batting lineup starts with Shaka Darwin, the left-handed opener. Now, he's a very, very good 2020 player. He's a decent 50-over player. He's got to transfer those skills into the test match arena and really learn the trade around the world and learn different conditions. He's got to learn the conditions in India and England, Australia, the West Indies. They're all completely different. And now in the modern age where they're really setting home pitches for home advantage, you'll have to learn this trade in the West Indies. The next batsman we're going to talk about is KL Rahul. Now he's only played 7 test matches, but has an impressive average of 37. He's only 24 years of age. Like I said about Shaka Darwin, he really has to learn his trade in the test match arena in away conditions. I think this match and this series has been a real eye-opener for him. I think he's really developed in this series. The next batsman we're going to talk about is Rohit Sharma. This needs to be Rohit Sharma's time to shine because he's 29 years of old age. He's really getting past the sell-by date. He's really getting his peak, and he really has to show why he's underperformed in the past, because I feel that he's disappointed in his performances before in the test match arena. He's been a decent one-day player, but he's never really lived up to the bill in the test matches. He only averages 32 in test match cricket and 17 test matches, and at 29 years of age to only play 17 test matches is a disappointing start for him. I know he's playing a position in this Indian team where there was lots of strength and depth before, but again, he really needs to shine in these test matches. The next batsman we're going to talk about is the captain, Virat Kohli. Now he's a classical batsman and one of the best techniques in this Indian side. And again, he'll shine in this test match. He'll be outstanding against this bowling lineup of the West Indies. I think they really suit his strengths. The next batsman we're going to talk about is Ajika Rahane. Now, again, he's another person that starred in the IPL and he's now starring in this Indian Test team. He's really transferring his skills in the 5-day arena. He played well in the Ranji Trophy, which is the Indian County Championship level cricket. And again, he's a very, very good technique, very solid, and he was taught by Rahul Dravid. So you think that some of that's wore out onto him because he's got that technique where you think you can't get out, and that's a great thing to have for a Ajika Rahane. They'll bat Ravi Ashwin at number 6. They've turned him into an all-rounder, and he made 118 in the last Test match. Was pivotal for the India to win this match against the West Indies in the last Test match. Now they're turning him into a real all-rounder, said before, but he's really in this team for his bowling, but his batting is then come on leaps and bounds. The next batsman we're going to talk about is a wicketkeeper, is Saha. Now he hit 104 in the last Test match as well, which again was a very, very important partnership because India started very, very poorly in this Test match, and Ashwin and Saha's partnership really took the game away from the West Indies. I expect him to continue his batting and play so well in this Test match again. The next batsman we're going to talk about, and the last batsman we're going to talk about, is Ravindra Jadeja. Now again, he's been picked in this team for his spin, but he's a very, very good one-day batsman, and I think we'll see him transfer some of these skills in the test match arena in this match. Now we're going to focus on India's bowling. I'm going to start with Ishant Sharma. He's a tall, fast bowler who can swing the ball. That's a rare commodity in India, someone who can swing the ball at a fast pace. They've got Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Now he's more a swing bowler. He's a lot slower than Sharma, but again, he's very controlling and he can be very controlling for a captain. He picks up wickets as well. They've also got Mohammad Shami here. He's an out and out quick bowler in this lineup. And the 3 seamers are all completely different and they all suit each other because they can all play in different types of pitches where the one can take the lead. So I don't know who will take the lead in this test match, but I'd be interested to see which one does. Moving on, the two spinners they've got Ravi Ashwin, who's a left-arm spinner. He's a controlling spinner for the captain, Virat Kohli. And they've also got Ravi Ashwin, now he'll be the attacking spinner in this lineup. I'm very impressed with Ravi Ashwin. I'm a big fan of his, especially his off-spin bowling, and I really, really rate it. So now we're going to move on and talk about the ground. Now this ground has held 4 Test matches in the last 7 years, and that 7 years ago there was a draw between England in 2009. The next Test match, South Africa won by 163 runs in June 2010. The next Test match saw a draw with Australia in April 2012, and the West Indies won the most recent match in 2014 by 10 wickets. I think this pitch will be a flat pitch, and I think it will take spin later on in the Test match. But what I think is going to happen in this Test match, I think that the West Indies will falter in this Test match again. I think they'll be in strong positions in this Test match, but I think India will be too strong for them in this Test match. Providing the weather holds out for them, I think that India will win this Test match again to win the series by 3 matches to 0. So with that, that's the end of this video. Thank you for taking time to watch this video. If you want to leave any feedback on this video, you can do so in the comment section below, or via my Twitter, which I'll leave in the description below. And until later on when I upload another video, I will see you then. Goodbye.